Hello. We're here again. There's a child back there. You can't see it.
There is. He's a large child.
I don't know my update from last time because I don't remember what I bought. But I bet I read them. How about you?
I don't remember what you bought either because it had nothing to do with the challenge.
I know, so I don't know if I read them.
Did you read White Dragon yet?
No, the Dragon vlog has been pushed a month.
Okay.
But you...
Yes.
You were reading...
Yes.
Wait.
I didn't buy anything new last time.
I know. Oh, your sequel.
Yes.
Your fantasy thing. Did you continue?
I did. I finished it.
Okay. And
it was okay. It like a lot of sequels, didn't quite live up to what you expected after the first one. Because I really, really liked the first one. 5 Broken Blades. That's what it was. And this one was 4 Ruined Realms.
Right. Is the next one gonna be 3 something and then 2 and then 1?
I don't know.
That's so dorky.
There was it seemed like there was a lot of side quests. You know? Like they couldn't, if they just went for the objective, it wouldn't be a long enough book. Right. Is what it felt like.
So she just introduced a bunch of ideas that weren't necessary?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, it's aight.
So now, are you on the hunt for a fantasy that's really good to make up for your disappointment?
Yes.
Or are you... Okay.
Yeah.
You're not on a journey for something else?
I think maybe I'll look for the next Robin Hobb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't remember what the first one was called.
Assassin's Apprentice?
Yes. Yes, that's what it was called. So whatever's next,
I think
I'll
they're
have to
all
Google.
assassin something.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you finally happy to add some more books to your shelf? Like, do you want a couple things, or are you just going to focus on one?
Something happy.
Same. I need
something happy.
I need some joy. Oh, the theme is animals.
Right.
Animals on the cover, animals in the title. I paired it up.
Yeah.
So it should be easy to complete.
Do you have something?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
But I'm going to look for more.
Okay.
Because I'm at the bookstore.
And that's what you do when you're at the bookstore.
Don't believe everything you think. Why your thinking is the beginning and end of suffering.
I don't like that.
Yeah, right?
If you want something cozy, there's the Strawberry Patch Pancake House.
Oh, no, that's a little too.
Okay.
A little too.
Do you see the one that I might be reading?
Oh, well, let me look. Hang on. Okay, that doesn't have animal in the title.
Which one?
You still need to lend me this.
What? I don't own Fourth Wing.
I thought you did.
I would never. It's like a dragon romantasy.
Okay. Let me see.
These are all 3 books. Which one did you just say doesn't have an animal in the title? Because I think you might have been... Oh, right.
Oh, are we specifically looking for the word animal or any animal?
Oh, any animal.
Oh, then that works.
Yeah. And it's got an animal picture.
What about Firebird?
Well, okay. Maybe I need to figure out what this is about. Hey, it's dragons. And there's a map.
Oh, you gotta love a map.
Important question.
Yes.
Is a butterfly an animal? Is it part of Kingdom Animalia? Look. Butterflies.
It is a living thing that is not human, so I would say yes.
Okay. Isn't this a creepy cover?
It is.
Oh, there's a caterpillar. I didn't notice that.
Ew.
Ew. Vote in the comments below which of these romance books me and my mom should buddy read. Number 1, Wedding Dashers. Number 2, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. Number 3, The Matchmaker. This has a mystery in it too. Lights Out, a stalker romance. Oh, she doesn't like that one.
But she never could have guessed that one drunken text would make those dreams into reality. Really.
I read this out loud. The couple who stays together. And she went, let me see that. Mama's gonna start reading hers because we're gonna go to the driving range. And so Liam can hit some balls. And she's gonna start reading just for the summer, I think. She got some popular books, you guys.
I did. I was mocked for picking this one.
Now my husband and my mother will have read it. And I, the voracious reader, will have not.
Because you refuse?
Oh, I refuse.
Why?
Morally, ethically,
Well, that's
preferentially.
That's judgy.
Yeah, but I'm not going to steer anyone away from it.
Okay, and then she found that the second in this series that
I
she
hope it's a second. I think it is.
book 2.
See, this is what people need to do.
Right.
Why are other people? There's this whole table of romantasy. Right. We're trying to find a romantasy.
And everyone I picked up was a sequel to something.
But you don't realize until you read the first chapter.
Yeah, and then this one.
Just for the summer.
Just for the summer.
Because you liked yours truly.
I did. Yeah.
So yeah.
And I gave it to you because I thought you would really like it, and then you didn't so much.
I'm so hard to please when it comes to romance, so that's why I bought 3 romance books.
Shocker.
Hey.
I've known you a long time, okay?
Okay, you don't have to read me like that. Oh, this is hers too.
And we're buddy reading this, apparently. We're buddy reading this.
This is the TikTok book of the moment.
Lights out. Maybe I'll read this one first.
But I want it.
Trauma nurse Ellie Capalucci
Ooh.
doesn't need any more kinks. She likes the one she's landed on just fine.
There's a 14-year-old in the backseat. Help. A dark romance like you've never seen before. I guarantee any dark romance I haven't seen before.
So we'll let you know.
We'll let you know next month.
Yeah.
Great.
What else do you get?
I got a sequel to Vera Wong, which we read for the book club last year. I got Wedding Dashers, which is about like 2 people on their way to a wedding, and then they like run into each other and something cute. And then these are 2 of my options for the video. The actual thing that I'm supposed to be shopping for. The buzzword reading challenge. Neither have an animal in the title, but they both have animals on the cover. So we've got Their Monstrous Hearts by Yigit Turan.
I think Yigit.
I think this is a Turkish author, and it's horror. So I'll let you know if it's good.
Okay.
And then this is a romance that's similar to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, but I've heard it's steamier. And it's really like light and silly.
They're hunting a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy.
Yes. Emily Wilde's historical fantasy romance. So yes, I did pick up both of these with animals on the cover, and they are options that I might read in this video, but I don't actually know, because the first thing that I'm going to read for the video is in my Aardvark book box. This is the month I decided to sign up for Aardvark as a paying monthly member because they had Buffalo Hunter Hunter as one of their options. And I was very intrigued to check out this monthly book box because they have certain things to do with them that are a little bit different than other ones. The logo is on the front and nowhere else to be seen, which is interesting. The quality of this book is just so great. And I was waiting, I was gonna put this in a haul video to let you know if I like recommend the service or not, but it didn't arrive in time. My package, they had a little issue with their packages last month, and I already have April's on its way to me, but this was in the March book options. And I just find that their offers are like, their books are a little more unique. They're not like the most popular books of the month. So I was really intrigued. And then another one of their options is a Literally Dead book club pick. So I'm definitely into Aardvark. I liked the experience, and they emailed me years ago asking me if I wanted to work with them in any way, and I just never responded because I'm a terrible person. And now that I've tried out their service myself, I do have an offer code for you to use. It only works for Americans because just the shipping cost and everything else involved internationally, I know is a little too much. So I couldn't participate in any offer codes, and if you are from Canada like me, you can't, but there is an offer code to get your first book for just a couple dollars if you live in the States, in case you're interested in trying it out like I was. And this is gonna be the thing that I read. And I know it has buffalo in the title and on the cover, so it counts for both, but I haven't yet decided if I want to just count it for one challenge and then I read something else for the other challenge, or if I want this to count for both and I continue in one of the series that I'm interested in. I think what I'm going to end up doing is reading the first chapter of both of these just to gauge the vibes and tell you about them, and then I'll pick what I actually want to finish. So I'll check in with you. It's actually going to be like quite a few days from now, but I'm going to start this eventually, and I'll see you then. It is so good to see you. I know I just saw you, but in my timeline, you have no idea. I just finished making this video, which if you didn't watch it, I read like no one was watching for a month. I read whatever I wanted, and I didn't film a single review for a month. I didn't talk about what I was reading while I was reading it. I didn't give you my final thoughts after, and I desperately need to talk. I need to yap. I need to discuss. I need to review. I even shoehorned in a video during that month off where I found a way to talk to you about the books that I was reading. I did this one where I was reorganizing my TBR shelf in my closet and everything, Still looking stunning. And then I did a spin-off for my channel members where I read the first chapter of a bunch of stuff and talked about all of them. And I literally just like my video is exporting right now of reading like no one's watching. I haven't posted it yet. I don't know how people are gonna feel about it, but I'm so desperate to read some books and to talk to you about these books. So I am going to read The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I'm going to leave that though for a second because I just want to know what the other book I'm going to be reading is. Something with an animal on the cover. We have these 4 to choose from. My agreement with everybody is that if I find a book that fits both of the prompts, which is Buffalo Hunter Hunter does, then I continue in one of the series that I'm reading. So this is an option, Veronica Speedwell number 5. There is even a dog here, so it even counts for the challenge. I just remembered to pick up the last session, which has a bird on the cover, which is what I was originally going to read for this challenge. And I forgot about it before I went to the bookstore with my mom and picked out these 2. So I'm just going to read the first chapter of everything and then pick something. These are both historical fiction. The reason that my mom mentioned, like she was like, this is historical, you know, this is historical, right? Was because like me 3 years ago was not reading historical at all. In fact, I would have said I dislike actively historical books. But in the past couple years between Veronica Speedwell and Emily Wilde, I have gotten more into historical books. I even got into historical horror, which I didn't totally love in the past. So Buffalo Hunter Hunter fits into that. So I feel like this could be a nice historical vlog in general, but I also really want to read this. And I also really want to read this because it's getting such mixed results. And a couple people have recently told me they think I'm going to hate it. And you know me, when you think I'm not gonna like something, I'm determined to now like it. So while I don't feel like A Murderous Relation is going to be the one, I figured I'll have it as a good backup because if these 3 don't have intriguing first chapters, then this will be the pick. Okay, the sun's going down. I don't think any book's gonna stand a chance against this one because that was an intriguing premise. I loved Julia Bartz's The Writing Retreat. It didn't work for so many people. It got kind of really ridiculous. And also like oh my god, the sun's really dipping so fast. The sexual content, I know people weren't into. I loved it all. This one, I think there also is going to be sexual content. If I'm remembering this properly, it takes place at a monthly retreat to uncover attendees' romantic and sexual issues. I haven't gotten to that. What I'm reading from is a social worker in a psychiatric unit. We just got to know like some of her patients. And then she goes to a meeting at the end of the chapter and meets with a new woman to the unit. That's intriguing enough. But the prologue was a couple pages and it was about like being trapped in like a cave. There was a dead body floating in the water and this person was talking about how they feel like they could freeze to death, how they got trapped in here by like a group of people, but still left it a little bit vague. And I'm imagining that is where we're going to get in the book. But I don't know if it's that main character we just heard from or if it's going to be the woman. Like, is this what happened to the woman who's new to the psychiatric unit? Is this her past? Or is this the woman that we're reading from who works there is her future? And I'm desperate to know. And I don't even know how anything else links together. She follows the clues to a remote center in New Mexico where a couple is holding this retreat. I'm just, oh my God, I'm so intrigued. But I'll read the other first ones just in case. Okay, this one by really quickly. It also had a prologue that was a couple pages about a woman and a butterfly. It was a little strange. Not sure in a good way or a bad way yet. And in the first chapter, we're following a man named Ricardo, and he is writing a book, and he's on the phone with his agent, and Ricardo's like, you have to help me, and the agent's like, you have to help yourself. You're locking yourself away, not like interacting with people. Like, how are you going to get inspiration for a book if you aren't like living? And so it just says he walked towards the door with hesitant steps is the last line. And like, yeah, I'm intrigued, but what's more intriguing? A woman being trapped in an underground well with a human body, or a person trying to write a book? Okay, that was the longest first chapter that I read. I got 15 pages into this and I think it's gonna be really good. It's definitely reminding me of Emily Wilde, like a little too much. And I feel like the 2 love interests have met a little too early. Their names are Beth and Devin. And I'm worried that there isn't gonna be enough banter before they like get it on. I think like this is the plan if this flops. I have no problem DNFing this if it starts to get bad. And then I'll move on to this. Maybe I'll try to make time for it anyway. The rule is 2 books a vlog. I shouldn't start adding in extra ones because then it'll become a thing, and then I won't have the 2 book vlogs that I've always dreamed. The first chapter of this, intriguing enough. It kind of recapped things from the last couple books, and in here there's going to be a marriage, a wedding, that they need to attend between tortoises. I don't know, don't ask, I don't get it. And then at the end of the chapter they met with a princess, and it definitely had the nostalgic feelings, even though, like, how far can nostalgia be? Is nostalgia only a thing if it's something that existed like at a pivotal point in your life or a certain time ago? Yeah, this is gonna happen, but not in this vlog. Oh, you thought the intriguing part of this vlog was already over? Book shopping with my mom? Let me introduce you to mattress shopping with my husband. Woo! We bought a new bed. Rob was in charge of the bed frame. I was in charge of the mattress.
What happened, babe?
I did a poor job. I've had the worst sleep of my life the last 3 nights. It's making me a cranky bitch. And we're gonna go buy a mattress from...
Again!
From where?
Sleep Country, Canada!
You know how some influencers, like really famous people, will go to like restaurants and they'll be like, oh, I'll post about you on my Instagram story if you give me a free dinner. I go in, I say, give me the $3,000 mattress, and look, 30,000 people are gonna see it happen, and you'll make my dreams come true, and everyone will love you, and they'll go shop with you. I just know that when I go in, I'm gonna want the $3,000 mattress.
You and your son are both like that. You can blind test both of you, and you, for some reason, your tastes always pick the most expensive thing.
Well, first, when I bought the mattress, I thought like $600 was expensive. I was like, oh, this is a little pricey.
A little pricey for 2 parts fall.
Yeah, as in burns a hole through.
This was my favorite. I didn't even know you could go above 3,000. I thought I said 8,000, and I was like, we have to leave.
Oh, okay.
Is it weird to film in here?
That's not bad.
Ow. I'm unhappy. The only one I like is $6,000. This
Only as it ages.
is so good.
Next
Hello, I did indeed buy the $3,000 mattress. It doesn't look like it should be that expensive. It's just rolled up in my living room. But now I can get rid of this piece of
Shit!
crap. Hey, be nice. It's for some reason felt good in the store. And then apparently the one we got is also gonna feel stiff for the first couple of days. Like not quite like the floor model until it like
The corners puff out.
opens up and does its thing.
So we want to remove this and try to open that thing on the bed.
Yeah.
So you just lift that corner.
Who, me?
Yeah, that corner there. I'm gonna lift these 2. We're gonna slide it towards the dresser.
This is nothing compared
Yeah, compared to what I just did.
Well, it's just foam. The other one's...
Yeah, it has like the gel and has mini coils.
There we have it. The new mattress. Are you excited? For anyone in my last video who was talking about their concern about the mattress being underneath the bookshelf, I have now moved it back to the wall, and we have a proper bed frame now, so I'm not moving it. The feng shui of it all is back in order. Also, while we were out, it's Easter weekend. I'm wearing my Easteriest shirt. We're gonna go for dinner at Robbie's parents in a minute. Oh my God, I haven't called him Robbie in years. That felt really weird. And while we were out, I got all of Liam's Easter basket stuff. Don't tell him, I'm hiding it in the closet. He just got his braces off, so he's gonna be excited about this. I know it doesn't feel the most Eastery, but there is proper Easter candy in here. And then, of course, a gift card and an Alani. I don't agree with that, but that's in my house now. Got him an Archie comic and a new Uno game. And this that looks really fun. You fill it with water and it's like a little aquarium on your desk. And then we hunted down the McDonald's Minecraft toy that he wanted. Oh, also I got him a Lego. I don't know where that is, but I'll check in with you next when I'm reading, as I should. I've gotten to the halfway point of the last session, and I feel like it's weirdly similar to the writing retreat. Like obviously the plot is different, but I only just realized this is a paperback and this one's a hardcover. So now they don't match. Why did this one come out in hardcover? How come sometimes thrillers come out in hardcover and sometimes they don't? Is it like if the first book went really well and they're like, let us make as much money from the next book as we can? Anyway, What's similar is like the, I don't know, style of it, like plot beats kind of, just the overall vibe. Like sometimes when a mystery author debuts, they just keep pumping out really similar stuff. And most of the time it's like kind of boring. Like it's the same domestic vibe over and over again. And so I appreciate that with Julia Bartz, she is pushing the envelope a little bit. Like she isn't doing the same like dull thing over and over again. But it's the same amount of like uncomfortableness. It's the same amount of like weird, like what the fuck is going on? So I'm obviously appreciating it because I really loved the writing retreat, but it feels so similar to the writing retreat. Like it makes me wonder, I don't know what it makes me wonder. Like, is she just gonna keep doing the same like vibe over and over again? And I don't even know if I can explain what I mean. The way that it's about a whole bunch of characters and you're getting to know them all individually, and some of them like aren't who you expect or aren't who the main character expects. Like that introduction and getting to the place where everyone's staying felt really similar. And then the amount of like sexual like weirdness felt familiar. The conversations between people like sitting around getting to know each other and talking about like what they're working on. In the book it's like they're working on their books. In here it's they're working on themselves. Everyone who came to this retreat is there because they have some type of relationship issue that they need to work on. Like they have a hard time with intimacy, or they have a hard time with like dating the right person, sabotaging relationships. So they're sitting around like the fire and talking about their stuff. And also it's reminiscent of the writing retreat in that you forget about the mystery. Like the plot goes in a completely different direction and it's just so character focused, and you forget like why they're even there. And I think the main character kind of forgets why they're there because they start to gain things from the experience. So like Thea obviously didn't want to come here by her own volition. She is trying to track down this woman who was at this psychiatric facility, and she thinks she knows her from her past, or she recognizes her, and she becomes close with her, and then she vanishes, and everybody seems like weird about where she went or who signed her out, or like if she can really be responsible for herself. And she tracks down the place that she thinks she is, and then to get closer to her or to find her or whatever, she has to participate in all of the weird stuff. And I'm sure in the second half the mystery is going to pick back up, and it's going to get, if it's like the writing retreat, it's going to get like action-packed and really ridiculous. And what I am liking about it, even though I don't typically like cult books, is in here she's going into it like knowing it's a cult, expecting it to be a cult. She has her guard up and she's trying to like help somebody and save somebody, and knows that like the people there are trying to manipulate her. But then she does start to actually gain useful things because she does have issues with relationships and sexual encounters, and so it's helping her heal in a way. She's not drinking the Kool-Aid per se. She is remaining cautious. And I like that kind of vibe. Like the cult books where it's just the whole story is like someone who didn't realize they were in a cult and then they realized they were in a cult. I don't find that the most engaging type of story. This one is interesting so far. I'm having a good time. It doesn't feel like a 5, but it could easily be a 4. And I'll see you when I'm done, or when I have something else to say. Like maybe something's gonna happen and I want to share it. Wouldn't that be great? Isn't that how books should go? So that was bizarre. That was bizarre. Okay. I like when books get weird. I like when books have the type of ending that you have to suspend disbelief. I don't think I could get on board with this one. I think it needed to be, oh my God. I'm rewriting this in my head for sure. Maybe like less of the book bizarre, and that's like the twist, that's the ending. Just less explanation. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like it was going in such a weird direction, and the people who love the weirdness then don't want the like reasonable explanation for the weirdness. But it felt like I wanted to appeal to the people who are just traditional mystery readers and want like things explained. But then you're not appealing to those people because you got bizarre. The first third of this, I was hooked. I was really intrigued. I loved the writing. The only thing I was having an issue with is I didn't think there was a good enough reason for Thea to go on this journey. I was like, yeah, she felt connected to this woman, and there's a little thing about like show that or a movie that she grew up with, that's impacting her love, her interest, and this intrigue to chase down this woman. But to like entirely drop your life and go on this journey just to like find out where someone is, and then for so much of the book for her to not be actually doing that, it just didn't feel like the best reasoning, but I was fine with it. The middle third, I was like, okay, like it just felt kind of repetitive, but I was also enjoying Thea's journey of figuring out stuff about herself. And this book introduces a lot of difficult topics. There's a lot of like religious and spirituality stuff. There's abuse. There's trauma, sexual abuse, grooming, things that certain characters are navigating and are in therapy for and are trying to work through. But there was also like some inklings of a bizarre thing happening. And then the final third, it did do what the writing retreat did, and it was like action packed, and there was a lot of learnings and a lot of confusion and a lot of questions. And it was wackadoodle, like truly wackadoodle. And I wanted to be on board with it, but I couldn't be as much as I wanted to. This has such a low average rating considering it just came out. Because usually like books at their release date will hover like well above a 4, and they'll drop down to like a high 3 in the first couple months. And then if it's really a bad book, it will go down to like a 3, but within like the year. This is already at a 3. And it's only been out for like 25 days. The cover is so beautiful. And this is like my ideal hair color. Like I should just bring in this as a swatch instead of photos to my hairdresser. It's like clay, it's like the terracotta vibe. Like this, but a little more saturated. I want this on my shelves. It's not gonna end up there. It's so pretty, it can't go here because it got under a 4 for sure. Is it a 3? Is it a 3.5? I think I will be debating that with myself because there was so much interesting about this, but the things that I was struggling with, like the few things, just got even worse as the book went on. And I did love, like I love that she's pushing things. There's like an orgy in here. That's crazy. I don't read a lot of thrillers that really go there, and Julia Bartz is going there, and I respect it so much, but this book was not my favorite. I wanted it to be so bad. I'm so glad I didn't. Oh my God, if I picked this for a Literally Dead book club pick after reading the writing retreat and loving it, and like the live show, so many people hated it, and then I was like, let's do it again, you guys. Trust me, Julia Bartz is the one. And then we all read this and had to talk about it. You all would have murdered me. Okay, happy I read it. Was not my favorite. Tonight, I'm so excited. We're going out to see Sinners. I've now put up the video where I was taking a month off from like intentionally filming for content, and a couple people commented on that video and asked like if I wasn't reading as much, was I watching more TV and more movies? And I didn't address that at all because I didn't. Like I guess it didn't even occur to me. For most people it's like, yeah, if you're not reading, you're watching more. I didn't watch a single episode of a single TV show or a single movie in that entire month. So I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what I want to go see? I want to go see Sinners. If I'm going to put my money towards going to the theater and seeing something, it's going to be Sinners. And I feel like that will really well transition me into Buffalo Hunter x Hunter, because I feel like there's going to be some things that align there. And I think seeing the movie first will be good, because then it'll put me in this like historical vampire mindset, and then I'll really want to dive into a long novel about it. I was planning on reading that first, but like you saw, the last session really grabbed me from the beginning. I went to the grocery store to get, like, among other things, dinner. Cashews, very important. The most important thing that I got is these. And I just want to tell you, if you are an ice cream bar kind of person, you've seen these in the freezer while you've been browsing and you're like, God damn, those are expensive, I'm not buying them. Buy them. I'm sorry to say. You have to buy them. I don't know where they're available. I know they're made in Victoria, so like I don't know if they're only sold in Canada, but this is the best ice cream bar I've eaten in my entire life. But it has these little toffee pieces if you like a score chocolate bar and you like a mild coffee flavor. This is the perfect ice cream bar. There's only 3 in the box because the box is already $12. But I thought they only had this at a certain grocery store, and then I went to my just like typical local tiny grocery store and they had it. And so I thought I had to tell you. I also got the cookies and cream for the first time because I bought these and I ate 2 of them in one day. I don't keep ice cream in my house, but I do now. So I thought like, oh, there's 4 in here, I'll have 2. And Liam and Rob can each have one. And then I ate the two. And then the next day I was like, there's these really good ice cream bars in the freezer. And there wasn't enough for both of them. And I was a terrible person that day. But they both love cookies and cream. So they're also I'm gonna eat all of these myself. Thank you so much. See you later. You know that one part in Twilight where they're playing baseball and the camera starts to go sideways? That's what's happening. Here's my commentary from the outfield. You probably can't hear me because I didn't bring a mic muffler. See, oh my God, it already happened. Oh my God, I didn't have my glove on. Oh no, for all of you who already complain about me making you dizzy, this is not gonna be the clip for you. I wasn't ready. POV, you're about to get beamed in the head with a baseball. Told you. Oh my God, I got it! I didn't have it. We got this one. Lock in. You got it, you got it, you got it. Ow! Thanks. Oh my God. Right here. Ready? Oh! I underestimated him. Hey! Life update. Life updates, plural. One, this bed is so comfortable. In fact, I think it might be too comfortable. I know this has happened to me before where I had a bed that was too soft and it started hurting my back, but from my recollection, we never returned like that mattress or anything, so it must have turned out okay. So this one is very soft and my back hurts, but I think that it'll get better. It's just so comfortable. It's so good. I'm so glad I got it and returned the other one. Update number 2, just for anybody who maybe at the beginning of the video has been thinking this or has left a comment about Lights Out saying like, what are you thinking? Like not only you are reading it, but your mom's reading it, but you're reading it together. Like what are you thinking? What are you doing? Stop. I would just like to give you a little update that we both started reading it that day. This isn't relevant to the vlog and I'm not going to review it in this vlog. I just wanted to mention it because I was surprised by the series of events. I started listening to the audiobook because she had the physical copy and I was like, okay, I want to get into this buddy read like a little bit. Started listening to the audiobook. Oh my God, so explicit. I think I read the first third. So little plot. And I thought it was going to be like plot and smutty and like funny smutty, funny dark, you know? And it wasn't to me, but it was so explicit that I was like, surely we're never going to speak about this again. Like we're just going to forget the buddy read ever happened. She's going to start reading it. She's going to be uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. Like forget about it. Then this woman drops this off on my door less than 24 hours after starting it and goes, your turn. Apparently she had a grand old time and it does get more plot focused and now I guess I need to pick it back up, but we will give you our official thoughts and because I don't know actually her rating or anything. If she enjoyed it, I just know she had a time. She had a time with it and apparently thinks that I should still read it. You were questioning it, I was questioning it, but we're fully forced charging through. Next update, Sinners was very good. And it's interesting how one of these two seems like it's going to be more religious focused than it is based on the title, and one is far more religious focused than you'd expect from the title. I think I'm gonna have to make a TikTok with like a reel about some recommendations regarding this. I don't know how to make content about movies. Like I don't know how to really review it for you here. I don't know if you want to hear that, but I think it's fantastic. It might be the only movie I've watched this year, but it is my favorite movie I've watched this year. This, I picked up the audiobook while we were out playing baseball. And there was this quality to the narration that I loved so much. And I was like, I'm going to keep listening to it because it opens with this person finding information, like a series of letters, research, whatever, manuscripts. And she starts to read it. And the audiobook, as it's transitioning from her talking about finding it into actually reading it, it like fades from her narration to the man's narration, and it was great. That hasn't come back into it. We haven't flashed back or flashed forward into the future at any other point, but I think I made about halfway through the audiobook and then I ran out of my hours. So I'm going to physically read, which I think will be just as good of an experience. And so far, I'm liking it. It's definitely slower and it feels kind of like, okay, well, like culturally, sure. You can tell it's written by Stephen Graham Jones, but it feels like the least Stephen Graham Jones book that I've read from him as far as the actual writing and storytelling. It feels far more traditional than what I'm used to from him. But it really just feels in line with the trajectory of his books and the things that he's been writing before, because we've had, you know, a story about revenge, and we've had a story from the main character who is a killer, and we've had, you know, a supernatural paranormal entity being the focus, and like him kind of nerding out about his own idea of what the werewolf lore could be. And this just feels like a mix of all of those things, because we're hearing from the vampire and his like life story and how he got here. He's on not a revenge mission specifically, but he is getting revenge multiple times throughout the story, but also is very reluctant, like doesn't want to be in this position. I could see a lot of people being very into this. I could see myself giving it a 4. I like the aspect of the like pastor preacher that we're following, because it's reminding me of watching like Midnight Mass, and I am hard pressed to find books that I feel comparable to Midnight Mass, and that's like one of my favorite miniseries. Something that I'm really into is the fact that this pastor gets to know this vampire creature man, and he's like writing the story. He's taking in the man's story, deciding if he wants to believe him or not, but penning it down. And the way that that's being told to us, I just think is really nice, because it's not wasting time. It's like verbatim what the tales he's telling are, and in that feels like the traditional, like just verbal storytelling. I don't know how to exactly explain what I'm trying to say. Normally a conversation, a narrative would be explained like, I then felt teeth coming in right here. He pointed to where his eye teeth would be in his mouth, but it skips that part. But he's constantly referencing like things, like he's saying, oh, I felt something right here. I saw something on this part of my body. And then we're not getting the physical explanation of what he's referencing, because like that's not a part of how the storytelling works. This is such an unrelevant conversation, and what I'm sharing with you, I just don't think I have much else to say, but I just like that quality. It's just like not letting us in on it. It's just like clearly a story that someone is telling. Never mind. I finished Buffalo Hunter Hunter. It's done. It happened. I think that if you love historical fiction, you love a long historical fiction, and you've read a lot of it, and you want to start getting into horror, like this is a great place to be. Though I talked about getting more into historical fiction, I'm not like, it's not my favorite genre. It's not my number one thing. So there are moments that I was wishing that we would come back into like the almost current day storyline with Etsy. She's the girl at the beginning who is reading the journal and is putting together some stuff from history, and she does come back into the story at the end in like with a good amount of page time dedicated to her, and I loved that. And that's when the book really started to feel more Stephen Graham Jones to me. Like it was the most evident that it was him writing it at that point. But I do wish there was more of that, and it was a dual timeline situation, because I don't know, I like the way that he does the inner ramblings of people. But I think that's why I would recommend this to a lot of people, is because it doesn't really have that quality that a lot of his other books do. But that's also probably why I'm giving it a 4, not a 5, because the writing style in general like didn't do anything to really wow me, which is uncommon for Stephen Graham Jones's books. Usually it's the writing itself and the inner monologue that I'm like so enamored with. We do get a lot of history. We get obviously, like with this time period being, it starts in 1912 and moves throughout time. There's a lot of stuff regarding the American Army and their effect on Indigenous people, and the what's it called, wiping out of groups of animals, intentional extinction in order to just like cause damage and create hardships for groups of people. There's great historical context, and then there's stories stories, like history that you can go on to read about massacres that have occurred and learn more about where the inspiration of this book came. But then of course you have the supernatural entity of it all and the confessions going through everything that he's done. And it was this really unique take on vampires. It was interesting and it was complex, and I think it was really well done. I know a lot of people will love this. I wish it was a 5 for me, but it just didn't have that, thing that made it a 5. So I wish that I ended it this video with a 5-star, but we had a 3 and a 4, which is great. I'm glad I now get to put an aardvark book on my bookshelf. And I was a little bit worried that recently I put out a video of my favorite horror books, and a couple people were saying like, bold of you to do that before you read this one. And now I'm almost glad it wasn't a 5, because then I'd be like, oh my god, I have to refilm that entire video just to include like my new favorite Stephen Graham Jones. But anyway, thrilled to have read it. We'll read anything from this author. He is my favorite. And I will see you in another video in a couple days.